This week's selection is Sing to the Stars by Mary Bridget Barrett, illustrated by Sandra Speedo. As you are listening or reading to the story, think of questions about the music that they share. Ephraim walks sprightly down the street. Head high, he swings his black case back and forth, to and fro. Girls jump rope as Ephraim strides by. They hop, they skip, jumping. Beaded and bowed, their braids fly high. Up and down, up and down. The rope slaps the sidewalk. Plat, plat, plat. It's late afternoon. Mr. Washington steps out of his laundromat, his dog's harness in one hand, his toolbox in the other. He eases himself into a folding chair. Bending forward, he touches his dog, nose to wet nose. Shiloh licks his chin and cheeks. Chuckling, Mr. Washington wipes his face with a big plaid handkerchief. His hand pats his dog, and his foot taps the cracked cement. How are you today, Ephraim? Ephraim stops. Evening to you, Mr. Washington, he says, thumping his case against his leg. Hello there, Shiloh. He pauses. Mr. Washington, sir, how do you always know it's me walking by? Well, son, every walk's got a rhythm. My ears tell me light step, brush, light step, brush. Must be Ephraim walking home from his violin lessons, stepping glad and swinging his violin case. You can tell I'm happy by the sound of my walk? Asks Ephraim. Boy, I can tell you when your violin teacher has been razzing you and you're full up pitiful with yourself. Really? Oh yes, your shoes clap the cement slow and dull. Your case thuds low against your leg. But that's rare, Ephraim. Most times you walk with the song of life in your step. You must make sweet music on that violin. Your grandma says you've got a gift. Don't know about that, Mr. Washington, says Ephraim, but I do like to play this violin. It speaks when I haven't got any words. I like to practice after supper, up on the roof. Mr. Washington smiles broadly. He reaches for Ephraim's hand. Here I thought it was old Mr. Bach, sliding down his Jesu joy of man's desiring from his heavenly station. And all the time it was you, Ephraim, up on that roof. Ephraim pulls his hand away from Mr. Washington. You heard me on the roof? I thought nobody could hear me out there. I keep my apartment windows open in this heat, says Mr. Washington, pointing up toward the windows above the laundromat. I heard you were playing last night. A breeze swept your music down from the roof, and boy, you take my breath away. There's a neighborhood concert in the park tomorrow night, a fundraiser for a new playground. It's an open mic. Anyone can play. How about it, Ephraim? Ephraim steps back from Mr. Washington. A stage and all those people, I just don't know, he stammers, clutching his violin case tight against his chest. I've got to go now, Mr. Washington. Grandma will be keeping supper. Goodbye, Ephraim. Grabbing Shiloh's harness, Mr. Washington stands. Remember, Ephraim, he calls, music speaks best when someone listens. Ephraim walks on, past the rap group on the corner, past the boombox blaring, past the glaring neon signs flashing on off, on off. Hey, man, you get yourself an electric guitar, yells one of the group. Ephraim swings around and fingers his violin case as if he were playing a guitar. Then he slaps the case, spins it, and raises it up onto his shoulder, playing it with an imaginary bow. The rapper flashes him a thumbs-up signal. Smiling, Ephraim nods back. Ephraim ducks into his building. Pots and pans clink and clatter through thin walls. Televisions blare, a baby squalls. The air is hot and still in the hallways. Grandma, I'm home, says Ephraim. Hello, sugar, she says. She wipes the sweat from Ephraim's brow and kisses him on top of his head. Supper's ready. Did you have a fine lesson? Yes. I stopped and talked to Mr. Washington on the way home. I think he knows music, Grandma. You bet he knows music, sugar. Mr. Washington was a professional. He was, said Ephraim, sitting down to eat. Yes, indeed. Mr. Washington trained as a classical pianist. He was your grandfather's and my neighbor when we were young and living in Harlem. One sweltering summer night, we were all invited upstairs to a rent party in our building. Mr. James P. Johnson was there, his hands pounding on the piano keys, one hand playing the rhythms of New Orleans, the other making the keys sing the song of New York. Our music pulsated through the air on that sultry night. From then on, Flash Fingers Washington played hot, joyful jazz and cool, soulful blues. You should have heard him play, Ephraim, says Grandma. His fingers flew across the keys. Any piece of music, classical, jazz, old spirituals, he gave it style. Grandma, he never told me he could play an instrument. Does he play any more? Not since he and his little girl were in a car accident. That's when Mr. Washington lost his sight. His little girl, Grandma? What happened to his little girl? Grandma wraps her arms tight around him. His little girl died in the accident. I suppose he just lost all his joy. He hasn't played since. Ephraim pushes his plate away. His chair scrapes across the floor as he leaves the table. Where are you going? Asks Grandma. You haven't finished your supper. Ephraim picks up his violin. I need to practice, Grandma. Up on the roof, the hubbub, bustle of cars and people fades to a murmur. In the twilight, Ephraim plays his violin, and its sweet song floats out into the wide night. The next morning, Ephraim dresses quickly and runs to the park, his feet beating the sidewalk fast time. The stage is set for the concert. Microphones and amplifiers are tested 1, 2, 3, 4. On the stage floor, Ephraim sees a piano. He pauses, then walks on, steady, determined, straight to Mr. Washington's laundromat. You're up early this morning, Ephraim. I don't have my violin case today, Mr. Washington. How did I know it was you? Well, son, says Mr. Washington, unlocking the coin box in the dryer. I told you before, we've got the song of life in your step. This morning it sounds like you're as bold as Mr. Louis Armstrong's horn laying down the tiger rag. Mr. Washington, says Ephraim, I've been thinking about playing at the benefit concert tonight. It'd be an honor to play with Flash Fingers Washington. Your grandma told you? Yes, sir. Ephraim, it's been years since I've played. Placing his hands on a laundry table, Mr. Washington spreads his fingers wide, lifting each one individually, clasping and unclasping his hands. I don't even know if these hands can make a piano sing anymore, Ephraim, and I'm not sure I want to find out. Ephraim slips his hands into Mr. Washington's. Just come, Mr. Washington. The concert begins at 8 o'clock. At the benefit concert, neighbors greet each other. Parents tap their feet and children clap hands to the music. Ephraim sits next to his grandmother, his violin case on his lap. Do you think Mr. Washington will come, Grandma? Asks Ephraim. Yes, yes, I do believe he'll come, says Grandma. Save this seat for him, here at the end, so Shiloh can sit right next to him. Ephraim looks at his watch, trying to read its face in a beam from the streetlight. It's too late, Grandma. I told him 8 o'clock, and it's already past 8:30. He would have been here by now. The group from the corner is rapping on stage. Their drums fill the air with a pulsating beat. Suddenly, the lights go out. There's a loud thump and a clang from on stage. Power outage, someone yells. Metal chairs clink as people rise and sink back into their seats. Some chattering, some shouting, all wondering what to do. It's this heat, says Grandma. Too many air conditioners blowing in this town. A brownout, I think they call it. Ephraim takes out his violin. It's time for me to play now, Grandma. Ephraim, says Grandma, how can you play in the dark? A wet nose tickles Ephraim's elbow. A hand firmly grasps his shoulder. It's always dark up on the roof, isn't it, Ephraim? Mr. Washington smiles. Evening, Rachel, he says. Shiloh and I couldn't miss your grandson's neighborhood debut. Hope we're not too late. It's never too late, Baltazar Washington, says Grandma. Mr. Washington, people are beginning to leave. I'm going on stage to play some of the old songs Grandma sings in church. There's a piano on stage. Will you play with me, sir? Mr. Washington tightens his grip on Shiloh's harness and sits down on the empty chair. He pulls out his handkerchief and wipes the sweat from his face and neck. Mr. Washington, says Ephraim, music speaks best when someone listens. Mr. Washington turns towards Ephraim's voice. Shiloh, you stay here with my friend Rachel. Ephraim and old Flash Fingers Washington, we're going to make some sweet sounds tonight. Ephraim grins widely. Do you know Amazing Grace, Mr. Washington? Ephraim, I was playing Amazing Grace when you were a thought in the good Lord's mind. Mr. Washington places his hand on Ephraim's forearm. Ready, son? Be careful getting up on that stage, you two, cautions Grandma. Don't worry, Grandma, says Ephraim. Mr. Washington sees in the dark. Up on the stage, Ephraim sets Mr. Washington at the piano. The crowd buzzes. Ephraim shoulders his violin, he raises his bow, and begins Amazing Grace. Mr. Washington joins in. The hum of the crowd fades, and in the darkness, the music sings to the stars. All right, the end. So I think that was an awesome story. It was full of just music and all kinds of things that Miss Fernley likes. So hopefully you'll listen to this over and over again because I think this one's a great story. Night, everyone.